We are live up in this joint. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Wizzo Talk, another episode of Barbershop Talk in Uncut Part 4, Uncut, Unedited. You can also find Wizzo Talk on Spotify. I remember this time, Seth, to say that. So, you guys that don't want to check us out on YouTube, you go and tune in on Spotify and catch us out. Check it out. So, what we're going to do is going to go around the room. We're going to let our guests introduce the intro themselves and tell a little bit about whatever they want to. And we're going to get this barbershop talk conversation cutting up. So, go on with it there, OB. What you got?
Okay, as usual, it's RVB Baker Jr., aka your All American, running for President 2028. If y'all want me to, uh, I'm just here to kick it with Wizard, my man Seven. We talk some real talk, even though we might not see on the same viewpoint. We got each other's back, and that's what I'm here for. Let's get it.
That's what's up. All right, Seth, what you got?
Yo, much bliss. It's your boy 7 Points of Bliss, aka Pomegranate Samurai. Y'all can check me out on Spotify on the Cosmic Currency 777. You can Google After Real Truth, all one word. Check me out. Just check out my art. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget Wiz on Spotify. He said it as well, man. We definitely dropped some stuff on Spotify heavy. And man, it's just an honor to be here yet again, man.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, guys, you already kind of know you guys have been on before. So, if you see some comments, we can address the viewers. If they tune in and pop up with a question or whatever, and we appreciate that also. But before I get ready to go into one of my talking points and ask you guys to talk about, Arvid, we was talking about your background. So, if you would, I'd like for you to just finish telling me and telling the viewers about your background in the back and what you do and how you came across that.
Okay, first of all, I used to live near Detroit for about 3 years. And one of the things that I like to do, whether it's Detroit or any town, I like to go to the south side of areas that's frequented by people that look like me and show stuff that they're not showing, on TV or in the commercials. And one of the things that I know is that there's these beautiful murals all around. There's also some beautiful buildings there too. I'll post that the next time. But this
Right.
picture in particular caught my eye because it was on the side of the store and it was in an area where there's not too much traffic going on over there. It's almost like a desert, but in the middle of that desert was this oasis, and this picture really caught me because, as y'all can see, the title "Power." People have the power is everything to me, but the main thing for me was that little kid on the bike, and I just saw myself as a kid hauling ass through the south side of Chicago on my bike, or when I moved to Thibodeau, all over Thibodeau, Louisiana on that bike. And you couldn't tell me nothing. And I didn't think about the world. All I thought about was riding that damn bike everywhere. So I had to snap that shot. And as you see at the bottom, it says Woodbridge, Detroit. It's like a section of Detroit. But again, it's populated mostly with blacks and almost kind of forgotten about.
Right, right.
So my last plug for Detroit is if y'all ever get to go to Detroit, don't just stay downtown. Get in your car and ride through some of the neighborhoods. I don't care what people say about it being scary. It's scary if you're looking around acting like you're not supposed to be there. But drive around and watch some of the buildings and some of the things that they're doing because they're doing some great stuff out there. There's actually some land that was taken back from these black farmers, and they're actually growing food for people in the neighborhood. And I'm talking about sunflowers, squash, what else they got over there? Cucumbers, all the stuff that you find in the farm in the middle of Detroit. And they doing it big, but they don't get enough representation. So if y'all go there, go check them out. Chicago's doing the same thing too, but not like Detroit. And that's why I got that picture up there. Appreciate you. Let me talk about it, bro.
All right, that's what's up, man. Appreciate them words right there. And I was just speaking with Seven about his also. So I got a 7 points. I got to come up there and hit you about yours, man, and let you talk on that right there. So what's up with that background?
Oh, well, this is a design I had set up with my clothing brand. And the design pretty much says sovereign mind. And sovereignty is a level of freedom. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people associated with like being free enough to move around the world as much as you want or live wherever you want. But sovereignty really starts in the mind. So if you're never really freely in the mind, you know what I'm saying? You'll never truly be free in your body. You know what I mean? And that's another reason why I have that cat there, because a lot of people like don't understand that Black Panthers and Jaguars are pretty powerful animals, and the Jaguar is more of an American animal, and the Panther is more overseas. But they're both the same cat, just like a mountain lion.
All right, that's dope, man. That's dope. And before I get on off into my topic right here, I appreciate you guys helping me go and put my wisdom talk in the background because I thought it was gonna be something complicated because I'm definitely not that much into the computer, but shit, you guys made it easy and walked me right on through it, click by click. So I appreciate that.
Big ups to Seven for making that happen, man.
Nah, man. You inspired it, bro. Because I was looking at your background. I'm like, hold on, Wisdom gotta have his up too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We feed on one another. So, hey, appreciate that. So, I'm gonna go and get on off into my first talking point. You guys already know how it works. We'll chop it up a little bit about that on the barbershop, and then I'm gonna come back to one of you guys. And like I tell the viewers out there, it's uncut, unedited, unscripted, unrehearsed. It's all that I have no idea what you guys are going to talk about, just like you have no idea what I'm about to talk about. And that's what kind of keeps it real and authentic. One of my guests that was supposed to be on, she asked me, she said, "What are y'all going to talk about? What's the topic?" I said, "I have no idea. You know, you sit in the barbershop chair, put the cape on, and you don't know what he's going to talk about." So, like to hear it? Here it go.
I'm
going to talk about Killeen, Texas. So there was 4 teens that assaulted and robbed this gay guy. So they got on Grindr, I believe it's called, and they lured him to a location and robbed him, you know, and assaulted him. I think it would have said. I didn't have that in my notes, but it was a popular dating night, a hookup, and they got this guy over there. It was a 17-year-old kid and 4 other ones. They didn't say 3 other ones, total of 4. They was arrested and charged with aggravated kidnapping and aggravated robbery. So where I'm going with that is, I think this is like Pride Month or LGBTQ month or something like that. Is that correct?
Pride Month, yeah.
So I don't know where you guys stand on it, but my thing is, why should any of us, or why should I care that another guy is liking another guy, or another woman is liking another woman, or any of that stuff? Not far as I can ever tell, not a single LGBTQ person has ever said anything negative towards me, never came on to me. So why is it so much harassing going on about these LGBTQ people? So I just want to put that out there and talk about that for a minute.
You want to go first?
I'll let you go first, brother.
Nah.
You know, I always got some firepower in here, man. So I don't want to take over the platform, man. I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm gonna say it like this, man. It's all about population control, man. They're pushing an agenda that is not going to pretty much. It's not gonna have people reproducing. Remember, you know what I'm saying? Like the gay community don't reproduce like that. They adopt. You know what I'm saying? You might see a few rare stories about a transgender man giving birth, which is really just a woman, right, organically. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that they really trying to push on us to further their population control agenda. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I put this online all the time, man. I literally tell people, man, gay people need straight people to make more gay people.
Okay.
Because who making babies? Gay people not making babies. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they're doing. And it's rare. You might see a gay couple. One girl might be like, okay, I'll get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But then you also see people that's in that party talking about, oh well, we don't need men to get pregnant. And it's like, newsflash, you still need to go to a sperm bank. If somebody not jagging off into that cup, man, you're not getting that.
Right. But look, I hear you on all that, but let me ask you guys this. So, but why is it that a straight person wants to target and rob and beat up a gay person just because they're gay? You know, it's been incidents where they didn't in some college, and I didn't have this in my notes, where they didn't tie this gay guy up to the fence and then beat him and everything like that and assaulted him because he's gay. I mean, just because he's gay, does that give us the right to kick his ass or beat his ass or her ass? I mean, why should I care? Why should we care if another guy like kissing another guy or getting screwed in the butt, or if the other woman like eating the other woman and that's all they like to do. So why should a straight person care about that?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this first. We can put labels on people all day, but at the end of the day, they're human. And for anybody to attack a human, that's being a bully. And for me, as always, being a bully is fucking wrong. It's fucking cowardly.
Right.
That I'm okay with people not wanting to be gay. I'm okay with people, um, having their own beliefs on what man and woman should be like or what marriage should be at. But I'm gonna tell you my perspective on it. Gay people been around ever since humans been around, and gay people are going to be around. And if we allow people to pick on them because we don't think the way that they think, we're going to be next. People out there that bully and rob, they're not just doing it because they're gay. They're usually doing it because they think the human populace in that area don't care about gays being attacked. So I am a firm proponent of gay pride and gay freedom, and I don't think anybody should have to be fearful of being themselves. If they're doing something for their own personal enjoyment and their happiness, let them be fucking happy, man.
Right.
Let them be happy. Now, I'll put this out there too, because I've had this experience growing up where when I was a kid, everything was about gays was wrong. Everything was bad. It was okay to joke on them. But the more I grew and was able to be around them and talk to them, man, all that shit was damn near lies. Now, I won't say every last bit of it was lies, but most of it was. And from my experience only, man, the gay community is one of the safest communities to be around as far as people looking out for you, in my experience, and people trying to start business. Now, I don't know if I told you before, Wizzo, when we was in Iraq, but my modeling career got kicked off in Germany because of gay people. Not straight people, gay people that was like, nah, this dude needs to get paid. And it wasn't about them, trying to touch me or be different with me. They just said, hey, man, they don't have too many brothers over here doing this thing. You ever thought about doing? And I was like, if you talking about giving me some money, hell yeah. And the next thing you know, I'm in exclusive restaurants, exclusive clubs. I'm getting paid plus my military paycheck.
Right.
And when I came back to America with a lot of straight people that's in the modeling industry, man, they wouldn't even give me a nod. So when we talk about the gay community, I'm an ally, not just because it's a cool thing to wear the rainbow flag for the month of June, but because from my experience, from a teenager to now, they've always had this brother's back, and I'm gonna have theirs.
Right. And I know that there's a lot of women that's crazy about it, having a gay friend, because how, I guess they so friendly for them or whatever. I don't know, but I've heard women talk about that before, that they like to have this gay guy as a friend of theirs and stuff like that. So, but me personally, I have no problem with them. I have never had any type of bad encounter with one. One has never said anything to me, tried to come on to me or whatever. And I don't know if y'all seen that little pit bull that's up on the counter. He got a real flat ass or whatever. And some of his little meme or something going on around. Well, shit, that's what my girl say I am. She say, shit, you like that little pit bull. You ain't got no ass back there. So they probably ain't looking at you. I don't know, but I said you didn't get with me because of my ass neither. Shit. But I just wanted to say that, man, because it's just so much in the news about, the LGBTQ people that's getting harassed and getting jumped and getting beat. Like these guys right here in Killeen, Texas. They went on the app and lured that guy over to this location to rob him and to assault him and stuff like that. And so I'm glad they got caught, because I think it said that the guy broke away or whatever and flagged down some cops, and then they wind up catching him. So that's definitely is what their ads get for this. That's some bullshit. They not bothering me, so why should I bother them?
I mean, I gotta say, man, it's special circumstances. Like in Chicago, there's a gay gang, and they be luring straight people in. They be beating their ass, bro, and robbing them.
Yeah.
Now, don't get it twisted. Gays are human. They're good and bad gays. I mean, you talk about the gay in Chicago. If you look back in the 90s, there was a gay organized crime in Miami that was strong on robbing people. And I'm not talking about, just, man, going into malls and stores, spilling high level stuff, but they don't represent the whole gay community. Just like when people look at blacks that they show on the news, and they always try to find the one that's the most stupidest or the one that's doing the most stuff and say, oh, that represents all black. No. This is one of those things that media does to try to flip us so they can think for us.
Yeah.
In Chicago, there was a gay bar that I used to do graphic design for, and I had never been in that type of energy before. But whenever I do graphic design, you have to like be in it to understand it. So I used to go like sit at that gay bar, you know what I'm saying, in the back, just chill, and they would have like the drag queen shows and shit like that. And I'm just saying this to second what Orby was saying. Bro, they was mad fucking chill in there, bro. It wasn't no beef. Motherfuckers was feeling safe. You know what I'm saying? Like it was it might have been some minor altercations, but they would come together and squash that shit. Now I did have one gay dude hit on me, but I told him I wasn't even like that, and I told him why I was there, and he was chill about it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's a really chill community. They don't even be that turned up, like acting crazy. Like you go to a strip club, a motherfucker step on your shoe, they ready to fight. It's chill, bro. It's just mad chill. They don't even on that bullshit.
I'm telling you, from the times I used to go to the club, there's less of a chance of me getting in a fight because somebody messed with my lady in the gay club community than it is the straight club. Usually when I go there, I got to be ready to throw that first blow because somebody's going to act a fool. Now, I will tell you this also about the gay community for our straight guys that's listening, that's scared. Y'all don't know what y'all missing. When I was in Tampa, Florida, and I don't know if he's listening or not, or he may be. I'll give him a shout out in the plug. I used to go to this barbershop, and there was this gay guy that was up in there doing hair, always hitting on me because I had my uniform. And, I always like talk trash back to him because there ain't nothing happening. So I don't care. Hey, you think I'm attracted? That's cool. And then one day I'm sitting in the barber chair, and he walks over to me, and he says, since I can't do nothing with your little skinny ass here. And he gives me a paper. I'm like, yo, what's this? And he said, just call her. Man, the woman he hooked me up with, every time I came in the barbershop, I was like, hey, what's up, my man? What you got for me, bro? You looking out for your boy? Because they connected like that, man.
Yeah.
They are connected. People be sleeping on LGBTQ community, and I'm pushing this from my capitalist angle. If you want to get an in business, if you want to get it in with somebody higher up that you can't get that door open, you'll be surprised at what doors the gay community can get in for you just off the strength that they think you cool.
Yeah.
Just off the strength of they think you cool. So for everybody out there that's hating, I can't change it. I think you should do your homework. But everybody else that's curious, before you make an assumption, talk to somebody in the gay community. Go check out their affair. Because if you ain't gay, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Trust me on that. Yeah. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But you might be surprised at the allies that's waiting for you over there.
Yeah, that's definitely, and they're in Congress. They in they every damn where, and like you said,
they're even underwater. You want to be a scuba diver? You probably gonna find a gay scuba diver that's gonna hook you up quicker than a straight one. They everywhere, man.
True though.
Yeah. That's what's up. All right, well, that's chatting up about the LGBTQ community. So you guys didn't answer my thoughts on that or whatever. And I hope those guys that's right there in Killeen, Texas, get what's coming to them for for luring that guy out there and stuff like that. And I think 3 of them was minors or something like that, man. Come on, man.
They were taught wrong, man. They were taught wrong.
Yeah. And definitely, like you say, we all human. So there are some bad ones out there. Just like we was talking about I kind of almost hate to say this right here because Sim might say, like we was talking about the cops the other day, and Sim say, fuck the police. But I'm just saying, all of them are not bad, but I always tell people, you have good preachers, you got bad preachers, you got good cops, you got bad cops. So you got good LGBT community and you got some bad ones. So, but we know Seven. We know he go hit them hard. So that's one thing we do. Though he gonna keep it 100 with them, and like Arvin say, shit. We may not all agree, but we stick together, support one another in the end. So that's 100.
That's how we learn, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So I'm gonna just move on from the LGBT community and come at you there, Arvin, and see what you got for us for the day. What's up in the barbershop?
Man, I actually got two things, man. I'm gonna hit this first one because y'all know I'm y'all all-American, y'all military representative. I want to talk about this draft thing that they talking about with the selective service extended to the women now.
Oh,
did y'all hear anything about that?
I heard the draft. I heard
the
selective service, but not
right.
The women.
Right now, they're making selective service automatic for young men, which I think is moving backwards because we're all volunteer force, and if people are not volunteering, we need to do better recruiting to get that money up, not just try to force people in the military. Because as much as I love the military, it's not for everybody. But this thing for the women, it's twofold on that. It's like, okay, when y'all started the selective service thing, y'all thought women wasn't good enough.
Right.
In the military and civilian worlds, the pay grades and the positions of power for women are still not there. But now, since the numbers are kind of dwindling, y'all considering automatically drafting the women. And I'm not saying it's just for the women not to be in selective service. I'm saying it for all people. All people should not be in selective service because there was a time for that when we were at war and when we need to put bodies in uniform, but we're not in that position anymore. This is the reason why it became an all volunteer force. And if the numbers are dwindling, things are not working right, just like any other business, you need to go back to it and look at what you need to do to get people in those uniforms. Not by saying, okay, we're just going to put you on the list in case something happens. We're just going to pull you. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. Seven, what you got?
Man, I think honestly that ain't no poor people start these wars. So I don't even know if people are even allowing their children to go to war. I say we should all be fighting the American government, not just because they got this draft shit going on, but because you don't know, bro. Listen, you think poor people over in them other countries starting them wars? These is rich people starting this shit. Why are we letting our kids go die for this bullshit? We gotta stop and think. Stop letting your kids go die for rich people shit, man. This draft shit, listen, there's no reason why we shouldn't have another civil war right now just because they motherfucking reinstating some draft shit. You think I want my son or my daughter to go to fight for some rich people? We not even fighting for our freedoms no more. This got something to do with America sticking their nose in shit that they don't need to be in. America can't even get their own shit together. Why is our kids got to go overseas and die? Why my friends got to go overseas and die for some rich people, man? It don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my daughter. Listen, man, I don't want my daughter. My daughter is 19, but I don't want my daughter to be going to fight no fucking war for these people, man. My daughter, she need to be having her own family, thinking about her own life. You know what I'm saying? My son is 13. He need to be thinking about the same thing. He don't need to be worried about if he 18, if he gonna get caught up in some fucking draft that he don't have shit to do with. None of our kids deserve any of this.
Seven, I knew I was gonna set you off for this, man, but I got to retort, brother. I got to retort because speaking from the level of a poor person that joined the military, yeah, I got it. We shouldn't be going to fight some rich person's war or going over there. But the bottom line is simple. We're not going to war every day, and there are benefits to being a veteran and getting the job. Again, when we talk about poor people in the military, there's always been this connection there. Before, it used to be bad, but if you talk to anybody that's a first-generation graduate that went to the military, they would tell you their life changed profoundly when they joined the military. Why? Because you had instant access to benefits that you wouldn't have growing up poor. Education, stability, general income, being able to build that generational wealth. So when I talk about the military, and I'm going to make a big push on this, Because even though you don't agree with the military, I think you agree with this. America owes young people the opportunity to build generational wealth. Right now, with the military, even though there's a lot of poor people that's going into the military, I don't think enough people are being allowed to join the military. And I want to talk about our returning citizens. This is my answer to what they talked about with the selective service and draft. If the numbers are so bad, why don't you take a look back at returning citizens that have done nothing other than break a law with marijuana or fighting and stuff and can still serve the community or serving the community and they just need a decent paycheck. Let them join the military. Because I'm not going to get into it now, but I still have personal beef for a young man I tried to put into the Army in Tampa, Florida, that did nothing but have some weed in his car in high school. This dude had a young wife, a baby, and a baby on the way. He said he would dig ditches if he could just get in the service because that baby would be born under the government and they'd be paying for his stuff instead of coming out of his pocket. And they told him no. Just imagine how many lives, and it's a couple of them. Anybody from Tampa that knew me as a recruiter, they'll tell you I was deep in the hood to try to change lives. And some people I couldn't help. Their lives could have been on a guide path for success if they could have got that job.
Right. Right. Well, let me say this on that note while we're talking about that draft, that selected service, because I remember as I was coming up, I had to register for selected service. So, but my thing is now technology and everything that came along so far, why do they even have to implement this anyway? I mean, what's the need for that? I mean, we got drones now. We have robots. And RV, you in the military, so you know way more about what we have than what I know. And there's probably some shit in there because I don't know your clearance level that you may not even known about that we have. So I don't understand why this selected service has to come along. Now, from what I'm understanding, it's not a draft, but it's just saying in case we do, we can call your ass. And
your name is on the list.
That. Yeah, you have to register for that, I think, at 18 or something like that.
Yeah, it's still 18, and they made it automatic now. But my thing is this: with all the technology we have, and they got stuff over my level of clearance that I won't know about. But even at my security clearance, with all the technology we have, we still need people. We still need people to maintain that stuff. We still need people to monitor it because that's how our military is set up. But my thing is, the military should be the place where you go to become better, not worse. Luckily for me, I was able to get in there and get some things better for myself. But the reason why our numbers are low, and I'm saying this as a proud 20-year retired soldier, is that they're not giving a fuck about soldiers like they should. And I'm not just talking about when they come in. I'm talking about before they come in, while they're in, and after they get out. The stuff that they're making them jump through when they become a veteran is unnecessary, in my opinion. Now, my opinion also is this has a lot more to do with politics than the military, because if you look at it, the military don't run shit. We do a lot of stuff, but politics runs the military. And that's where everything gets jacked up, in my opinion, because you got people that's never been in uniform calling shots for people's pretty much lives that live and die by the uniform. And I think that's an issue. So
and I think that's what me. And I think that's where you are on that right there with that, huh?
Exactly, man. No, when you play in chess, the most expendable pieces are the pawns. That's the military. Yeah, these are people's lives, but it ain't their lives. This is not their children. We're putting our children out there to die. Yeah, I understand that you saying that we need soldiers, but at the same time, it's like, to what end, bro? Like he said, they got robots and all type of shit they can be using. Technology is up there now, right? They display it. So why is it that we need human lives? Why is it that our children have to go out there? It's because this is another level of population control, man. Anytime population is booming, they start wars, man. It's good for the banks. This money, this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. People need to fight back and stop letting their children sign up for this bullshit. See, it's okay for your children to go kill for America, But when they out in the community killing each other, then they're a nuisance. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem either way. You putting guns in an 18-year-old hand and telling them to go kill. They haven't even started their lives yet. They don't even understand who they are. But you want them to go kill other people in other places. They don't even talk these people's languages. How do you even know they really the enemy? You letting people who are truly your enemy tell your children who the enemy are, and they over there going to kill people who just want you out of their business. They don't want you on their homeland. That's like people coming over here, right, and try to tell us what to do, right, and they holding us at gunpoint. Yeah, it's gonna be motherfuckers blowing themselves up to get people out the way. That's just how it is, because you don't want them on your land. This is the same thing going on over there. America don't have no control with what's going on over here. They killing their own people. So how are they trying to tell other people how to live their lives in other countries? If this country is supposed to be better than every other country, then why are they still doing the same bullshit that they do in other countries? People still getting gunned down by police officers. Same bullshit that's going over there.
I got to retort on it. On it because first and foremost, we are the best country on the planet, bar none. Even without mistakes, we're the best country, bar none. And when we talk about us getting involved with it, it's more than a simple black and white answer. Yes, there's some people over there that don't want us there. They don't want us to get involved with what they're doing. They're happy with things the way they are, but not everybody's like that. Not everybody is saying, stay out of America. Some of them are crying and begging, please come back and don't leave. Because we offer something that they can't get over there. Again, I'm not going to say that we are a perfect country, because we're not. We still got to fix our issue over here. And yes, I'm talking about reparations, y'all. We'll bring that up later. I'm talking about reparations, y'all. But, there's so many countries out there that's not even on our level of poverty. I'm not even talking about riches, poverty, where when we show up there, we provide a dream for them. Now, I want to talk about the soldier, because that's what I know, I live and I breathe. We are the representation of America, not the politics. When we go over there, we're the ones that's in those villages, in those communities, in those towns, talking to them. We're the ones sharing our American story with them to compare with their American dream. So at no point in time is there ever going to be a time where we can just step back and be isolationists. We're too big for that. But moving forward, there's a better way to do it. There's always a better way to do it. And when it comes to the military, the best way to do it is make sure our military is being taken care of. This is one of the reasons why we can whoop ass on other militaries that they can't do to us, because you pretty much are told, get your ass in the military, go die like we told you, and no, you're not getting a paycheck. Take this bread and these sardines and be happy. You know, in the military, you can actually build a whole lifestyle off of becoming a soldier. You can parlay that and get into politics or business, because being a soldier, you get these contacts. And all I'm saying is everybody shouldn't be in the military. But for those that are like me, because I'm going to tell you right now, after 20 years, bad knees, bad hip, bad back, I would join again in a heartbeat at 18. Because it changed my whole guide path on the military. And I'm not going to even be funny about it. I'm going to just be serious. It's better for me to be a young, spirited kid that's ready to let somebody else give their life for their country, to have me on the street mad and disgruntled and not giving a damn about anybody. I'll let you read into that as you will, but promise me, I promise you, it's better for me being in the military at young RV age than it is being on the streets. Because they recruiting there too. Now, you know this, being from Chicago 7, they recruit early. They try to recruit me, what? I was 7. They recruit early over there, and the benefits are not the same that I got in the military.
Man, you could have became a Black Panther, brother.
Man, they had some things for me. And hey, who's to say I'm not affiliated with the Black Panthers? We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah. I'm gonna acknowledge Mr. Rice and Chef if they still watching in. You know, appreciate y'all, Rice and Chef, checking us out. But you know, and it may be Black Panthers in the military right now.
There are.
You know, it may be here unarmed people off in the military right now. I mean,
There
I don't
are.
know. I think they in there and maybe in disguise and can't say so much about it because I know that there's one military guy. Well, I don't know for a fact, but just from, and Arvin, you can relate to this. I know you in the military, let's say 20, 25 years, you wind up messing up doing one thing and you're a sergeant major, they can bust your ass down to a private and you lose everything. That right
In a
there, man,
heartbeat.
is crazy. You lose
Dude,
your rank, you lose your pay, you just a nobody from one mistake you
you
made.
lose your whole lifestyle, man. It's not just your rank, your whole lifestyle. Just imagine if you're working somewhere at the corporate level and all of a sudden everything gets pulled off from under you in one sweep. That's just as bad as going to jail.
Damn.
True.
Ooh, everything's gone. Mm-mm.
Just
I don't
like
know
that.
about that. I think
So
Rice.
the military is not for everybody. It is
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
But for
yeah.
those that do want to go forward and put their uniform on and lean forward in the foxhole, I believe that more opportunities should be available for them automatically, not with all this VA signing up list and changing and qualifying. It should be automatic because let's face it, that life in the military is like being an indentured servant.
Right.
There's not too many jobs where somebody can walk up to you and say, shut your mouth and stand at attention. Don't move. And you better
Right.
not do it.
Right. Right. Mr.
They should be
Rice,
compensated for that.
yes, yeah, no doubt. Mr. Rice talking about we're in a silent civil war right now. So and I don't know. I don't have no comment on that right there. So shit, I don't know. Seb, you got something on that?
All I'm gonna say is this, man. When you want to know what's really going on, you really need to pay attention to the movies that they dropping. We've been in the silent civil war ever since they dropped that Marvel Civil War movie. You know what I'm saying? People just don't. People don't understand it. Like a lot of these movies, they have so much truth in them, but people just see a fantasy aspect in it that's covering the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? In the Civil War movie, they were talking about after World War II, and they brought in all the German scientists under a project known as Project Paperclip, and people don't even realize that's a true. That's a factual thing that happened. You know what I'm saying? They brought in the German scientists, and they was doing all type of stuff. And the thing is, we've been in the Civil War for quite some time. What do people think that whole Donald Trump thing was when they went into Washington D.C. like that? You don't think that was a Civil War? You don't think that was part of the Civil War? It's a lot going on that people they don't know about because people live in a fantasy world. They're just thinking about money and they're thinking about their jobs and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff is going to come to an end soon. People don't even realize it, man. We have so much going on behind the scenes that people they can't even comprehend what a civil war looks like in today's time, let alone knowing what World War III is going to look like in today's time.
All right. So we have here a 20-year lifetime vet that will enlist again if he ever had the chance to go back in and re-enlist. And
Heartbeat.
7 in a heart, he said in a heartbeat. And 7, we know where you stand on it. You're pretty much like, fuck it. And me personally, I'll say that I took the test. I've said before, and I did not pass the test. Me and a friend were going to go in buddy. I failed it and never went back into it. And I'll say that knowing what I know now, when the guys or exit the military, or, retire from the military, what they're going through, and I just don't agree with a lot of that shit right there. So that's where my stance is on that right there. And see what we're talking about, that Russian ship in Cuba, Putin's threatening North Korea or South Korea send weapons. Okay, I heard something about that, Rice, about that right there. So Arvis talked about it last time. We watching them and we got some shit. But 7 also said, shit, they got some shit. So
they got some shit that's going.
Yeah.
They got some shit that makes them tidal waves, bro. Believe it or not.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so we're gonna go come on up there to you, 7. So we didn't just talk a little bit about the LGBT community. We talked about the draft, the selected service. So 7, what you want to throw out there in the barbershop while we sitting down in this chair?
I want to say this, man. I want to say that people are really going hard for Israel right now, which is weird because the Israel that is there now is not the original Israel. People don't know their history, and I really think people need to become more informed. The Israel that's there now was established, I think, in 1948. That's not the true Israel. So people really need to learn history and start to understand what's really going on and what's really being put before us, because we're all being tricked. Like, people fighting for the wrong stuff, and they're really being like brainwashed, bro. I don't know if y'all know that, but that Israel isn't the real Israel.
I think Ari said something about that once before. In one of the barbershop talks, he talked a little about that, didn't you, Ari?
Yeah, it was put there in 1948.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, America had a big part of that, putting them right smack in Palestinian lands. So if you look at maps that's older than 1948, you won't see Israel anywhere on there because it never existed. I say we as America made that deal to give them a place to stay. And if you look into it, I think they were trying to give them a place in Africa and somewhere else before they ended up in Palestine. But Seven is absolutely right. There was no Israel. And right now, and again, I'm not speaking for the American government. I'm speaking for the all-American right here. The shit that Israel is doing to Palestine is atrocious, and they need to be brought up on charges on there. A lot of countries have got together to do this because what they're doing basically is the same thing that the Nazis did to Israel's Jewish people in Germany. They're annihilating people over there. And we can sit back and pretend to say, no, they're fighting back for what happened to them. First of all, what happened to them was fucking wrong. I'm not going to even sugarcoat that. What Hamas did to them was terrible. What Hamas continues to do to them is terrible. But that doesn't give them the right to destroy the lives of innocent Palestinians that's being murdered. And not just murdered. If you look at what they're doing over there, they're tearing out the infrastructure of Palestine. They want to make sure that these people have nowhere else to go, and they want to take over. So I'm pretty sure Seven knows about what's going on with the settlements that they've been doing, how they reach out, they take over a place, kick people out of their family, and then the Israeli government rallies around them and say, oh, no, y'all here, so now it's yours. And they just keep taking over place, but they don't talk about that in the news too much. They just talk about how they have to protect themselves.
Right. Yeah, the news is definitely not going to tell us everything. And Seven, when you was talking about the people not knowing, I guess, their history or whatever, it kind of brings me to the think about 45. And I hate to bring up that stupid motherfucker, but because I watched.
Let's talk about them.
I watched some of the interviews on TikTok or whatever when they're interviewing these guys, and they don't know shit. They just listen to whatever he says and whatever. So my point is, maybe they don't even care to research or know the history. They just want to go on and believe whatever channel news they watch, and then that's what they want to just follow and believe. Because I didn't know a lot of the stuff about Israel, but I think we should, with the technology here now and the internet, man, we can research some of that stuff if we really want to know and not just be led to the slaughterhouse, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
That's my thought on that. What is he saying right there? So, Mr. Rice, so-called build another ditch of more cargo transport. I mean, Rice, I kind of wish he was off in here because, man, I have no idea, about any of that right there. But I agree with Ari, to the fact of saying Israel. Well, I'll say this, that I don't understand why the U.S. is still sending Israel money or weapons or anything when they're kicking the shit out of Hamas over there anyway. So I don't even know if Israel is one of the allies of the United States. I don't even know. I hadn't followed that, so I don't know.
They are.
They are? Okay.
Yeah,
so
and I think one of the reasons why they're still sending them stuff is, number one, money, because they're paying for it. And number two, Israel got other problems. Right now, they're bullying the Palestinians, but they got other problems. People have been after Israelis' head for a long time, and they got a lot of clandestine wars that's going on behind the scenes. So they need their stuff, but they also need to be held accountable for what the fuck they doing over there. And
Right.
Here's the thing that makes me mad about the media. We're talking about this right now, and Israel is acting like everybody's on board with what they're doing in Palestine as far as the Jews. But they have Jewish people in Israel right now protesting the shit out of their government. They want Netanyahu's head. They want him out of there because they don't agree with what's going on in Palestine. But you rarely see that. I won't say never because it slips in NPR news. Where else? PBS to show it. Sometimes the international news correspondents show it. Sometimes, but in America, you don't hear anything about an uprising in Israel. It's like everybody there is behind them, but they're not. They're not. And we have Jews here in America that tell other Jews that's talking that shit to sit down and shut the fuck up because it's wrong and they should know better.
Shit, the news, we can't follow that because they definitely not going to tell us what we need to know, whatever. What they're going to just put out there, what it is.
They in it for the entertainment.
Yeah, yeah. And they're going to edit it and cut it and interview, whatever. That's why I think if one of them was to ever interview me, which I've had one interview me about a shooting that was next door to me, and they're going to edit whatever you say to feed the people. They're not going to play the whole interview or whatever, something like that. So I just, I kind of like Seven when he said, fuck the police. I'm like, fuck the media. They ain't going to tell us the right shit.
Not since Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. All right. Any last things on Israel before we move right on along?
Hey, what's the deal with the rules of war, man? I want to ask y'all that.
Well, there's not any set rules of war. It depends on where we're at, and it's really called rules of engagement. Now we have some rules of war that we have to go by as far as what we shoot, who we shoot, how we shoot them. But we also have what's called rules of engagements. When can we shoot? When can we return fire? When can we attack first? And all this depends on what war we fighting at that time. And it gets a little sticky, but I'll just put it this way. When it comes to war, people in the war room need to be warriors, not politicians. When we, again, I want to make sure I make it clear that I'm not speaking for the United States. I'm speaking directly for R.V.B. Baker Jr., you're All-American. When we go to war, we have the opportunity to open up a can of whoop ass. The reason why people would never want to attack us except for that 9/11 is because they know the superpowers that we hold if we unleash that can of whoop ass. But lately, people have been trying to look at war and try to make it this small little thing where we could do one thing, but then we could back up. And when we back up, we're pretty much saying, well, whatever happened to our soldiers happened, but we're going to back up because politically it don't look good. We should never go to war unless we're ready to open up that can of whoop ass. And once it's open, let us do what we paid to do.
Right. Now, on that note also, and I don't know, you can relate to it better than I can. Listen, working over there in Iraq, the guys would come through with the convoy and I talked to this sergeant or that sergeant or whatever. And the Marines, it seemed like those rules were different because they didn't give a fuck. They went out there, gun blazing, shooting, whatever. And then and I don't know, this is just what the guys telling me. Say they'd go hunt you down and kill, but the army had to be fired upon and had different rules of engagement with the army, but the Marines was just natural born killers. But
look, they're not natural born killers because I know that's what they like to brag on and stuff. They're natural born defenders. Where we're like, and I say we as the army as a whole, we're more like honeybees. We can sting your ass, but we got somebody controls, and our whole focus is the hive. Now we have different hunters that do that, Special Force, Delta Force, but as a whole, we're just bees. Now the Marines, that's your hornets. You mess around, hit the hornet nest if you want to. They coming after you. They're not gonna go look for trouble, but if you bring it to them, you better have a lunch because they're gonna finish it off. They're not gonna let you slide off into the night and say you got something. No, you want to start something? We're gonna give you what you came here to get. And that's one thing I gotta say about all the Marines, especially the ones we dealt with doing the convoys over there, their instruction was if we're fired upon, kill them all.
Yeah,
Them
that's what
jokers
I'm
try to
saying.
get us, take them up. We're going to tell the story. With the Army, most of the convoys are like this. If you're fired upon, drive out of the area you're being fired on. If you get blockade in, defend until help comes. Do not go after the aggressors. And again, I say that as the Army as a whole, because if you're ever embedded with Special Forces or Delta, that shit ain't happening. What's going to happen is they're going to come back and tell you the story of how somebody attacked them. And since they're not here to tell it to you, they can tell you their side of the story better than they can because they did. That's just how the boys get down, man. So
yeah, and that's exactly what I've heard about them. And since you the 20-year vet here, now the Air Force is a lot more laid back than the Army or the Marines, huh?
in my opinion, they all the way laid back, man. These are when I tell people about joining the military, if you don't want to live that military life that you see on TV, it's probably best that you go to the Air Force. And it's not a knock on the Air Force, but they have a higher standard of living. Like when you go to the Air Force, and this is true, you can look this up, man. At basic training, they have like a whistle and a damn blow up chicken that they shake at you and stuff to intimidate you. That ain't gonna work in the Army. In the Army, somebody's gonna put their hand in your face, probably take the brim of their hat and bust you in the nose, and if nobody looking, punch you in the gut if you ain't paying attention.
Yeah.
Because we got a whole different mindset of what's going on when we go forward. When they go forward, they're in a nice area and they can call shots to the fly boys and fly girls that's doing all the damage. With us, we might be in that firefight. Or shit, if they get close enough, we might be in a fist fight. And we got to be able to handle ourselves. And that's why when we bring the Marines back in, that's what they train for. They're like, no, we want the fist fight. We want the smoke.
Yeah. I heard about them. Seb, you got anything on there before we roll along?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So, if you could put them in the order, right? From you said the Air Force is the most lenient, pretty much. What would be the order of the most lenient to the most harshest one, in your opinion?
Okay. In my opinion, it's going to be general because all the services do have some whoop ass in them, even the Air Force. You know, they got their PJs that they are not nice. Them boys are not to be messed around with. But in general, I'll say your softest, and I mean that in a nice way, is your Air Force. So, okay, Air Force is penny loafers, all right? You got your Navy. We're gonna call them the Air Force Ones. You get your Air Force Ones. Army, that's your black Air Force Ones right there. Marines, that's the straight up boot kickers. Those jokers are steel toed boot boys. So that's my level of picking. So
yeah, I figured that the Marines was gonna be the top of that list right there.
Oh yeah. Hey, as much as I like to talk shit about the Marines, there's two things about them that you can't take away from. Number one, everybody is a devil dog warrior. And number two, they still have the best dressed blues out there, man. You ever see them cats dress up with their uniform with that short collar tied around their neck, fitted in the hip with the white belt and the buckle? Man, you can't touch that. Every time I used to go to school to recruit, I hated when they came around because like he's dumb as a box of rocks, but look at him, man.
Yeah,
I'm looking corny with this big old pickle suit on. I gotta go pull out my dress blues just to keep up.
Yeah. I heard that. All right, then, cool. That's what's up. We know the order, how the order of that goes in. So I want to go just come at you guys with something that's off in the news a little bit, and this is about the cell phones. Like the city of Killeen, Texas, is banning the cell phones in the schools. And I've seen that Florida, I think, was one of the first states or whatever to I didn't research that totally.
I think California too.
In the schools?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now they've been getting some backlash, especially because of all of the mass shootings going on. So, now they want to take up all the cell phones from the kids as they come in. So I just want to know, what are y'all thoughts on that? Do you agree with that, or what do y'all feel about the school taking your kid's cell phone up when they come into class, and that's the only way they can reach them? Because it's been a lot of these shootings, and some of the kids have had to reach out to their parents by their phone, and at the same time, we already know some of the kids in classroom playing on games on their phone and not paying attention. So I just want to know what y'all think about the cell phones being taken up during class. Yeah, right here I see that Florida is become the first state to prohibit students using their phone during class times.
Yeah,
So what
Los
do y'all
Angeles
think
is
of
the
that?
biggest school section to ban the phones. But this is what I have to say about it. And it's no
Yeah.
clear cut answer. No, bottom line up front, I don't think the kids should have those phones in the classrooms. And the reason I say it is because the kids that I've seen, majority of them, man, they ain't doing nothing but playing on the phone in there. My daughter,
Mhm.
her whole class just got in trouble with that. But
Mm.
the follow up to that is, if you're going to say no phones in there, I need, as a parent, to be reassured there's some higher safety measures at the school.
Yeah.
So I don't know about some of the other schools out there, especially in LA, but I know for my daughter's school, man, it's like a fortress. When
Yeah.
when school is in session, you come there and they don't recognize your face, you're not coming in there. If you do get to break one panel of glass in there, you still got a whole sheet to
Right.
break through. You're not coming in there. And I think that should be for all public schools. Now, the area that I live in is a pretty nice area. So they
Right.
got a lot of tax money to take care of school. But when it comes to some of the other schools out there, like the school I grew up went to, man, all you got to do is come through the backfield and you up in
Mm.
the school property. So I think, yeah, the kids shouldn't have a cell phone, but also the parents should be reassured what kind of system y'all have in place to protect those kids if somebody tried to accost their school.
Okay. All right. 7.
At what point do we get to when we start to make our kids feel like they're in prison or they're prisoners?
Mm.
And is it for their own safety? And if we can argue this for our children, what makes us think that the government isn't arguing this about civilians in just everyday life? It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When we're talking about safety, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing. It's a very sensitive topic to get to when we're talking about safety and what other people are willing to do to prevent us from causing harm to ourselves. It's a sticky situation, bro. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like man, we can easily get into a prison state like that, though. You know what I'm saying? And there's already not much of a difference between prisons and schools. And
You said that before.
we don't want
Yeah,
our
and
children to feel like prisoners.
no, and you know what? I totally agree with you on that. And this is why I said school. I mean, public school wide, because they can easily do it where they got um, the sheriff's office up in there patrolling and beating up the kids. What I'm talking about is more like a higher tier learning level where our kids are not scared to go to the bathroom because somebody might be a slip off in it. Put it in this perspective. Our school should have the same protection as our senators and our judges have. They don't feel like they're in jail,
Mhm.
but they got top flight security on their ass. So when I'm talking about it, I'm not talking about something as simple as, well, let's just put some bars on there and march around everywhere. No, I want those kids to be able to go in school, and when that bell ring, they can skip around and be happy because they know nobody coming up in there that's not supposed to be up in there to touch them.
Hey, I grew up in Chicago. I think all y'all know this.
Right.
Yeah.
And the crazy part about Chicago high schools that I think a lot of people out there may not know who are not from Chicago. I don't know how the rest of Illinois operates, but in just Chicago, bro, we had metal detectors. And I went to a school. I went to a military school. It was called Bronzeville Military Academy. It was an
I know
old,
exactly where it's at.
bro. It was an old bunker for black soldiers, bro. We not only had metal detectors, we had the little airpoint joints where you had to put your book bag through them, and they x-rayed the bags to see what was in there. And
Yeah.
yeah, you feel safe in there, man. But it's crazy because it gets to the point where it's like, bro, even a pencil or a pen can become a weapon.
Yeah.
So are you ever truly safe? Like, yeah, you stay from guns.
Yeah. And you're right, man. Are you truly safe? And it really depends on the neighborhood because, again, being a Chi-Town brother, I don't know when you went to high school in Chicago, but I was in elementary school in 78, 1978. We had metal. Look, we had metal detectors back then.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I had a comb confiscated from me because they said it was a weapon. Now, just to put this in perspective, because I know everybody's not from the era of disco, my comb was about this long with some metal forks that I used to comb my afro with.
That
but
rake.
You can easily, that rake. You can easily gash somebody's eyes out with that. But I'm in third grade. I don't know. I just want my fro to be nice. It was taken from me. But again, it wasn't so much with the protection of the kids in school. It was mostly from protection of people coming into school that was affiliated with the gangs. I don't want that. What I want is for people to come in there feeling like they're top flight. When they come in there, Joker's not throwing them against the wall to frisk them down. They're like, hey, how you doing, little man? Everything good? What y'all doing in school? We just gonna check this bag and have all the courtesies and customs that they would do that politician or that judge. So when we talk about that security, I'm glad you brought that up, Seven. A lot of our politicians get it flipped and they say, okay, we should do this. This is some more money that we can pay some thugs to be in the school and beat up on kids to get them ready for prison. Nah, that's not what we want. What we want is the same treatment they ass get up in Capitol Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Coming there, somebody smiling at you, they nice, they dressed up, they're not going to put their hands on you, and they're going to make sure you're safe instead of treating you like the criminal.
Right. Now, I heard the guy, go ahead, Tevin.
No, I just want to say, to get back to the point where you were saying about the cell phones.
Yeah.
I don't think cell phones should be in the school, but I think they should have like an alternative. Have you guys ever heard of those Firefly phones where you can only call like 2 people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or 3 people. I think you should call your mom, your dad, and the police. I feel like children should be able to have those in school so that if there is any type of gun activity or anything going on, they can still reach people outside separately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you will never know what happened and your kids need to reach you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, times have changed completely. So I feel like they should.
You got my vote. No, man, you got my vote 100% on that. I really like that because what it's doing is cutting out the ability to play on it. Nobody gonna be calling their mama or their daddy on their Firefly. But if they calling, they calling somebody legit. So I'm cool with that. As a matter of fact, I'll take it one step higher. I think the schools should have those Firefly phones to give to the students. What about that?
I was just wanted to say that until you said it. I was waiting. I was about to say that.
They give out iPads like at my daughter's school, and when she goes to high school, they're gonna give computers. They should give phones. And to me, as a parent, I would feel so much better knowing that if something happened, my kid can get on that phone and they're not playing around. They calling directly to me or directly to the authorities to get help there. I like that.
And you know what's so simplistic about that is that they don't even need a phone plan for that. That stuff could work simply straight off Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
to make
I like that.
calls. So it's not like it'd be something extra you should have to pay for. It's very simple, and it's like why they don't think about stuff like that though.
Well, that is part of a safety security right there. Go ahead, Wizzo.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably. No, you good? Probably because, as I've said before, some of these suckers, man, up in there are just so old, so they not new and up to date on the technology and what's out there. Let's take this from them. And Seven, you said before, some of the schools is almost like a prison, so they taking. But that right there is a good idea. So here you are, a young man coming along with this idea, and some of them old cats in there, they don't know. They just want to take their phone. But then you got the parents saying, well, how do we reach our kids if something going on? And, I hear you guys talking about the metal detectors. I hear you talking about the deal, the set the backpack on. I forgot what you call it, the scan it. But what's happening, and that's keeping them from already being in there. But some of these people have came and shot the windows out from the outside and came into the school, But, yeah, we keeping them in safe in school, and we need to educate our kids and educate the kids you know, hey, if somebody's talking about this and saying something about that, we need you to say something and notify somebody. But at the same time, you have these kids coming in, or these adults or whoever coming in, shooting out the glass and coming inside. So I just was touching on that, and then just touching on the fact that some of the people in the school board, the school system, they is probably too freaking old, or they don't want to put that in the budget. But like Aubrey just said, and down here, they getting the laptops. But I bet you this, I know down here in Texas, they're gonna build a $10 million football stadium in a heartbeat.
Definitely.
You know, a $20 million football stadium.
Let's not talk about all the money they spending on prison systems.
Yeah.
Let's not, because you want to get my blood boiling right now about America. It's the money that's being funneled to the prison system.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Right now, we have a dilemma with our schools. And it's not just the shootings that's going on in school. It's our rating in the world as far as educating our kids. We're not doing enough. At 7, I really think, man, you should write that down in a plan somewhere, because I'm thinking about this and all kinds of things are buzzing off my head. Just imagine if the kids had these Firefly phones on them, right? If we have a snow day, they can press one button and hit all the kids to let them know there's no school tomorrow, or school can get out. Boom, one button. If they have a situation where somebody does, God forbid, get into school, all those phones could be tracked to say, okay, all these lit up areas is where the kids at. This is where the kids aren't. So that body movement, drop that motherfucker, because that's the person in here that's not supposed to be here. I think you got a $1 million idea, but our problem in America is they'd rather give money to these contractors to build prisons than to do a better school.
Yeah,
we got to switch that shit.
Yeah, because they ass is so old and so far outdated that we need these young, fresh, new ideas like this right here to come in there. Because me, myself, I hadn't even thought about that or whatever or something, you know, but maybe because my kids not in school and things wasn't as bad when they were in there, you know, but that's an outstanding idea. So,
and you know, those Firefly phones they're not even new. That's old.
Yeah.
That was out when I was a shorty, man. And like you said, they can track that.
Yeah.
And it's like, why haven't they been trying to put any of this type of stuff in the schools, bro? Like you said, they give them iPads. What is that really going? Because the kids can still play games on that.
Yeah.
These kids can't break these little codes they got on these computers. These kids not doing.
No, that's definitely right. So these been out a long time. They just don't want to implement it, probably. And like you say, they can give them away, and they can write that in, but they got money to give in prisons to build whatever else they want to do, but they don't want to go on and do that. So that I share,
they got to switch the narrative on it. Yeah. Hey, Wizzo, while we on school, man, I want to slide one more topic up in there, because I know our time is buzzing out, because I wanted to get this in there with my 2 topics, and that's the Louisiana making it a law to have the 10 Commandments put in all the schools. What y'all think about that?
Okay. Now, 7, did you want to say something on that first?
I'm gonna let you go ahead. You go ahead and do your thing, brother.
Okay. Well, so me, I've been following that a little bit on the news, and I heard that Louisiana is so far down in the education system.
47 out of 50.
Yes, just the bottom, you know. So and putting the 10 Commandments up in there, I don't even support that theory. I think they could have done something better with that, or something better. I don't understand why they want to put the 10 Commandments up in there like that. They try. I mean, that's all I really have on that. I don't know why or where that came about, and I don't even understand the purpose of it. That's all I really.
What I want to know, what is the 10 Commandments going to do for these children? You think these children don't care about any of that? They don't care about that type of stuff, man. We as a society don't even push that type of stuff to be even important. Kids out here worry about the next pair of gym shoes. Ever since I was a shorty, I don't know how it was before I was a shorty, but when I was a kid, all kids worried about was when the new Jordans was coming out, man. That's all they cared about. Kids that come to school with new Jordans before they came to school with a pencil and some paper.
Facts.
So, and I went to school on the west side of Chicago. It was supposed to be one of the poorest sides of town there was. You know what I'm saying? Poverty stricken, violence, and bro, listen, it's more money in the poor neighborhoods than it is in the rich neighborhoods. People don't even realize that.
Except for where I lived at, man, because I never had a pair of Jordans.
I never did either. My mother was a teacher at the school I went to, and we wasn't poor. She just told me it's more important things to buy than a pair of Jordans.
We was poor. My mom said, you better worry about them lima beans you got on your plate than what you got on your feet, boy.
That's facts.
Yeah. She didn't use those nice words either. Hey, but I'll give y'all a little bit about Louisiana perspective and maybe why they did this, even though I think it's dead wrong. Nope, I'm going to say it the way I want to say it. Dead fucking wrong to have 10 commandments in there because Louisiana is a very religious state. I mean, they're steeped in religion. It's the only state in the United States that doesn't have counties. Everywhere that you would call a county is called a parish. Parish is based on the Catholic areas that used to be all over the United States. Everybody changed the county. So they're deep in their religion in Louisiana. But my issue is this. You're talking about some damn 10 commandments where they need a $10 raise for each and every teacher there. The 10 commandments is not helping the kids get smart. And I take it as a slap in the face for anybody that has kids going to school. And it should be a slap in the face to anybody that's into religion because they're basically pimping out religion to fix a problem that only money can solve. You want to help the schools down there, you need to put some financial in there. And when you talk about religion in there, you really open up another book because we're not back in the 50s or the 70s where, you know, prayer was just Christian prayer and we said pledge allegiance. That's a whole nother story we can get to later. But my whole thing is when you do stuff like that, you can't afford not to be inclusive. So if you're going to do that, what about the Buddhists? What about the Jews? Hell, what about the Wiccans? Yeah, that's a religion. True. So if you're not going to give all of them credit, don't do it for just one small thing because it's just not right, man. But my whole thing behind all that is why y'all talking about some bullshit plaque? We need to be talking about money. The school needs money. Yeah. How can you refinance money? And if they ask me, I'll tell you exactly how. Stop giving all this money to these people to build prisons on property that's for people that's related to people in the prison system in the first place.
Damn.
Dig into that because it's true. It's all out there on public access. So you want to do something for the schools? Put up or shut up.
Yeah. What happened to the good days when they used to say that church and state was separate? We got everything. You walk in the courtroom and say, "In God we trust" on the wall, and on the money, "In God we trust." Now in the schools, they put religious stuff in there, and I know schools is part of the state. So whatever happened to that?
There's a lawsuit going on right now as we speak, Seven, because of that same section right there, the separation of church and state. But again, this is we'll talk about Agent Orange, number 45, funky ass. But the party that he jacked over, this is how they do business. They get the religious front, the religious right, because not all Christians are bad. I don't want to put that out there. There's still some good Republicans, but the ones that follow Agent Orange to the T, even to his gold shoes and his gold Bible, they're the ones that say, "Oh, this is all we need to fix it," and just put everybody, all the black people. I mean, all the people in jail. Did I say black out loud?
Yeah, yeah. And that I just can't get over this 10 commandments in the school. I heard all that you said about the orange and all, but and how that even come across or how that even come up when, like you're saying, they need money and they number, what you say, 47 out of 50 or something?
47. They might be down to 48 now. When you look at the lowest numbers of education in America, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Georgia have notoriously been at the bottom of the barrel. I don't think that's changed. I have to look at the numbers, but Louisiana, because, you know, that's the state I grew up in, and I still love the state, got much love for it. But God damn, we're not spending enough money on education, man.
Yeah. So they want to put up the damn 10 commandments, which they ass probably don't even follow the 10 commandments themselves, I'm sure. And
they would probably break it. 8 out of 10 commandments when they put up the 10 commandments for school.
Easy. I mean, it's today in this time. I mean, who's following the Ten Commandments? Hell, they probably can't even name all of the damn Ten Commandments. So I don't agree with it being put up, and especially with them being that low in the education to spend money or whatever on the Ten Commandments or a flag or something. It's a bunch of bullshit. But
America,
Now,
America
I,
wasn't
I,
even built on the Ten Commandments.
look, I give them this, and this is a challenge out to any religious person that have been hurt by me talking and making fun of your Ten Commandments. If you put $10 million with them Ten Commandments, you can have your Ten Commandments up in the school.
boom.
How about that? And this goes out to all the way up to the highest religious power out there, because y'all got money.
Yeah.
You want 10 commandments in the school? Put your money where your mouth is. Back the school up. Go ahead and make it where you buy uniforms for those kids in the school where they got 10 commandments at. Other than that, shut the fuck up.
Boom.
That's just how I feel about it.
Seb, what was you about to say?
No, it's just that America wasn't even based. The formation of America wasn't even based off the Ten Commandments, bro. Because if it was, thou shalt not steal, and this land was stolen. So I don't even understand what they even trying to do with these schools. I think they needed to take the. I even think they need to take the Pledge of Allegiance out, bro. Because who are you really pledging your allegiance to? All this stuff.
Most of them don't do that no more, bro.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All this is brainwash.
And I know this is going to be a shock to you. I don't want you to catch a stroke on me, but I'm okay with them not saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school. I like to scream it out, but I'm okay with them not saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school, because as much as I love my army and I'm all American, I am big on this thing called freedom. And I think when we talk about the Pledge of Allegiance, this should be something that people have been educated to want to say. And I stress that. If they come up and there's nothing that shows them, hey, this country is mine, why are you forcing to do it? That's just like forcing religion on somebody. If it's nothing that helped me, don't force me into it. But if it's something that I can get 100% behind, yeah, by all means, go ahead and say it, but don't force it on nobody. And I think that's one thing in America, when we talk about politics and try to make this shift to become even better than we are right now, we got to get out of this force thing, because if we're that good, we shouldn't have to force it.
I agree with that. Boom. Mic drop. All right. Moving right on along from them 10 commandments, and we hit one more and see what Seb got. Seb, you got one more thing for us?
Man, I'm actually, man, because he brought up what I wanted to talk about, so I'm tapped out, bro.
Hey, look, I think I messed him up when I said it's okay not to say the Pledge of Allegiance in school.
That was I
think I shocked him.
Hey, you know, and I'll tell you, on that, I watch the news every morning, right? And while I'm winding down or whatever, and this one guy, he sponsored a Pledge of Allegiance, and I turn the channel, man. You know, I just do. I don't even want to hear it. You know, that's just me. I turn the channel, they say the national, I turn the channel and then come back to it. And I think that's just something in me because of it was forced upon me when we were young, and now knowing better now and knowing what I know now, and I'll be like, you know, man, fuck that. I don't want to hear that. Don't make me say that. You know, I know where I am. I know this. I know that. So yeah, I don't want to say that, but that could be that. Well, I will bring up one more thing. Unless Ari, if you had something, because I know you had two.
I just wanted to say it stresses. It falls back on what I was stressing about the freedom to choose. You know, you shouldn't have to be forced. You have the freedom to choose. But I will say this, for some of those people that are special, and I'm going to say that in the most negative way possible, and they think they're better than us, the one thing that shocks them more than anything is when I show up to an assembly and I bust out the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right.
And they're looking at my face like, what's happening right now? Shouldn't he be saying down with America, fuck America and stuff, and, you know, drinking some malt liquor? It messes their world up, because they really believe, and this is that small number of people on the way right, they really believe that America is theirs only, and everybody else can't wait to leave America. No. I love America. As a matter of fact, your funky ass need to leave. Because you ain't doing enough for America. And just by the color of my skin, you can see America is imprinted all in me. So No, I'm not going anywhere. But I'll be damned if you push me off of here because this is mine, not just as much as yours, but even more than you.
Right.
Facts.
No doubt. No doubt. And just to jump on one other thing before I touch one last deal before we get ready to get out and stuff. When you was talking about reparations earlier, we talked about that on probably Barbershop 3 or 2 or whatever, something like that, I think. And so when I posted that on YouTube, some guy gonna comment and talk about, we don't owe y'all shit. America don't owe y'all shit. And so I just hit him up and just say, what make you say that? But of course he didn't reply, or she, I think it was a guy, I really can't remember,
Mm-hmm.
But they do not want to give black people of color jack when it's been so much has been given to other nationalities and stuff, man. But it's just for us. When they see it's coming to the black, it's a problem with it.
Not just being given to them, but what's been taken away from us. And here's where I stand. Reparations. Why I'm so pro reparations, because when I was younger, I didn't think we needed reparations. I just thought we needed an opportunity to prove ourselves, and we can get it out the mud, because that's how we always do it. But if you look at our history, not just us, if they look at our history, we the people history, they will learn that first of all, y'all been given so much shit. Y'all forgotten that America gave y'all the right to be at that level y'all are. And we have been taken from so much, from the point of being taken from Africa, from the point of being taken from our families to soul, to the point of actual land being taken and burned from us. Think about it. It hasn't been over 150 years ago where we had riots where white communities burnt out successful black communities. That's generational wealth just gone. When we talk about the Civil War, one of the things that pisses me off when people talk about, hey man, what about Abraham Lincoln doing this good thing for the blacks and we're trying to move forward? Well, he did do something out of force, but let's talk about what happened after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. Everybody remembers about 40 acres and a mule, right? And I think I talked about this before.
You did, yeah.
The whole coast of Georgia was supposed to be black. That's where all the 40 acres and the mules was going to come from. Those tracts of land being given. Once Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, the next jackass that took place for the presidency said, nah, we're going to rescind that. And it's called Field Order 15. If anybody want to look it up. Special Field Order 15 that gave everybody those 40 acres of mule. They took that from them and then they gave it back to the people it belonged to and other people that was displaced. So when we talk about reparations, we're not just talking about, hey, we want white people to give us money, because that's never been the situation in the first place. That's what they like to say. Like, you gotta take my money. Shut the fuck up. Nobody's trying to take your money. But the government, the United States of America, broke a fucking treaty with us. They broke the law and took back something that was supposed to be ours in the first place. So when we talk about that, we're not even talking about the reparation from all the free labor that you got from black Americans when America was founded, because that's a number they can never touch. That's what made America number one. But if we talk about from the point of the Civil War, when we were supposed to get all this stuff and everything was taken from us, and oh, by the way, Jim Crow laws are being hung, happened. No, the government owes us because they never protected us and they stole from us. So when people talk that, the first thing I want to ask them is, are you a representation of the U.S. government? No, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Number two, are we coming to your bank and taking money out of your check? Well, I pay taxes. Up again. Refer to the first answer. Shut the fuck up. This is between us and the United States government, and there's no anger in it. It's just a business transaction. Because you know me, B. Even to weddings and marriage, I'm looking at it in the business level. And business-wise, you owe the bank, brother. You got to pay out.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, shit. We're gonna get ready to close it on up out. It's been another fire session up in the barbershop, boy, cutting it on up. So I'm gonna come on up there. See, just Seth, I'm gonna come on up there with you first and let you go and see to put out any closing comments you got and see what's up.
Man, my closing comment is this to go with what Orby was saying. We do deserve reparations, but reparations will only come once we realize our true status in the world and in these lands that they call America. We are not black because black is not it's not a culture. It's not a people. We're not African American because 95% of us never came from Africa. That is a ploy. You know what I'm saying? It's fake history. They give us fake history. We are indigenous Americans. We are the Native Americans of this land. Reparation will not come to us in money. Reparation will only come to us when they give us our land back. And now when I say give us our land back, I mean they need to pack this shit up and get the fuck out of America and give us all our shit back and leave it to all our people how it was supposed to be. People don't understand that. We're looking for money. Money is meaningless. Land is everything. Until we get our minds right and we understand that we are not black people, that we are the indigenous people of this land, we will never truly get what belongs to us, and that is this land. That's all I gotta say, man.
Right, that's what's up. Aubrey, what you got, man? In the last comments on.
Okay, first of all, I want to tell you, Seven, I love you, brother, but I am 100% Black American. And I say that with pride because I love my blackness. Now, I'm brown, but we've always been known as black people. And if you really look at the color black, not in the biblical form, everything cool is black. You buy a car, the coolest car is the black car. You get a horse, the baddest horse is the black horse. So I love to embrace myself with my blackness. That's why I call myself a Black American. And as an American, I'm a full-blooded capitalist. Money moves stuff around me. Kareem.
Dollar bill, y'all.
You know it, brother. And when we talk about that, I am not getting off the boat of property because property is the way that you build financial wealth. That's why all these families have money in their family because of property. And I'm a firm believer we need to get that. But I'm not turning down no money. Before you give me a little piece of land like you did to our indigenous brothers that was moved off their land and put on reservations, cut them damn checks. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to get the property that they don't want to give us. I'm going to build up the areas that they don't want us to be in. And just like they saw before, we're going to start flipping that money and getting bigger. But the difference is they're not going to be able to do shit about it. Because if you walk up in there with your tiki torch and your little slingshot, we're going to have something wait for that ass. Yeah. So it's going to be a whole different law and order. But it's not going to be a get back. It's going to be a move forward. So if you with the team, and I say this lovingly because there's a lot of people out there throughout our history that's always had our back to the point where they lost their lives and their family's life to have our back. Y'all always welcome to the cookout. But for that small number that's crying, kicking, and screaming because that white power structure is fading away, it's inevitable. Y'all just watch it. And if you want to hate, you just hate to your own little section of the world because we're taking over and we're not doing it as just one entity. It's a whole mindset moving forward on this. And my last shameless plug is I'm doing the documentary. I put the link for Facebook to look up my documentary. It's called The Survivors Memorial Documentary. It's my first documentary, and it's a documentary about the only memorial built for survivors of sexual assault. So be on the lookout for that.
No doubt. Well, no doubt. We have to keep that out. And if you put that out or put it out there, I'll be sure to share it. I think I saw something about that before. And I definitely will be breaking something that way, no doubt. So just to recap on just a couple of things before we get out here, a couple of key points that we talked about was the LGBT community. We talked about the draft, the selected service, Israel, talked about the phones, and talked about the 10 commandments. Those are just some talking points while sitting in the barbershop chair with the cape on. And the cape didn't come off, and they didn't took that little piece of little toilet paper they used to put around your neck. And I don't even know why in the hell they used to put that on there any damn way. Still got all that damn neck. Look,
hey, they rolled it up so they could put that green and alcohol and dab your head, burn the hell out of you. That's what they did.
It up, So, but guys, as always, it is a joy to have you guys on. I appreciate you guys to the fullest. Appreciate you being on time. you know, and coming on the Wizzo Talk, where it was about 3 other people that were supposed to come. Haven't heard from them, but hey, you know, it happens like that. You know, I'm going to upload this on Spotify and just always remind everybody that's watching now, watching later, that it's 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate your support here on Wizzo Talk. And guys, we'll come back again some other time with another session of Barbershop Talk, cutting up the conversation. So until then, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the viewers out there watching y'all, and appreciate y'all support. I am Paul Wizzo. I'll let you boy.
Peace.